Today we're here to discuss more in detail about the political climate of Edo State. Recently, the election tribunal sitting in Benin City dismisses AA's petition against Governor Obaseki. So we're going to be also discussing about Oshiomhole. According to a rumor that he's planning to retire from politics, he has not been, participating in Nigerian politics. So, Mr. Daniel, what is going on in Edo State?
Those states for now is very calm, though there's still little security being afraid in those states. Though the government and the security agencies they have boosted up security. Vigilantes are now part of patrol, licensed vigilantes. So I think the situation is getting calmer. Even yesterday, the governor has said they are going to introduce some security devices to monitor crime within the state. So it's good that we are calm, though robbery is still on the face. The police they have resumed fully, I would say. So the security check has also continued. So we want to thank them for coming. I also want to thank the vigilantes, because from information is that the local government are now the one paying the vigilante to support the security check in Edo State. Well, as for the tribunal matter, okay.
Yeah, for the tribunal, yes, the case.
As for the tribunal matter, AA was bringing a case before the tribunal, not against Obaseki, that their candidate was excluded from the ballot papers that was used for conducting the last election that brought in Governor Obaseki. Well, the tribunal dismissed the case, made all those legal explanation and orders. But to me, I felt that it was not necessary. It's just that I take it as part of distraction to the governor's effort. If AA has a problem, tribunal petition to me relates to issues during the election, then and the candidates involved in the election. Were they criminals? Were their documents not authenticated? Then was the election violent? Those are, to me, what the tribunal should be looking on. Not that you were excluded in the ballot papers. That should have come in a normal, competent court of jurisdiction. And why waiting up till this moment after election to bring forth charges that your candidate, if they were really serious? Looking at the whole thing, you see that the two parties Edo people recognize fully in here is the APC and the PDP. So all others, they are either sponsored to distract for distraction's sake to the governor. That is my own point of view, because they don't really have relevance. If AA, even if their candidate was in the ballot paper, what effort will he or she would have brought to play in the election where we have two major parties contenders, which is the APC and the PDP? So these are distractions. Definitely, it is the handiwork of some major political parties trying to, look for. The other issue that is going to come up very soon is about the qualification of Obaseki, which they said about 3 or 4 parties are bringing up that they were not competent to contest that election. So let's see how it goes, and we pray for the governor, because these are part of distraction. And I also want to advise the governor not to be distracted, to continue the good work he said he's going to do.
Court case surrounding his certificates, his credentials. So that one is a serious one. That according to a rumor, that APC is compromising the court in Abuja to disqualify Governor Obaseki because of his credentials, his academic credentials.
Well, the issue we are only praying for the governor at the end of the day to succeed, because the issue is a very complex one. Let's not forget that Governor Obaseki was a member of the APC, and this issue was also brought during the time uh, he was in APC, when the Isaiah Yamu was also contesting under the PDP. And according to what the APC are saying, is that the evidences before them is uh, basically from what they got from the PDP, where Obaseki is now in and is governor. That is where it's very complex. But one thing that I keep saying is that if the university authority actually said that that certificate is coming from them, then why the doubt? Why go into that effort? Is it that one is saying that the authority lied, that Obaseki was not their student, or the certificate did not emanate from them? I'm also aware that even the Youth Service, National Youth Service, has also clarified the little disturbance in his discharge certificate, and has also reissued another one to him. So how they go about their case, we are also looking at it, and everybody is very interested on the matter. So let's hope that God be on his side, he will leave this one free. About him not having his degree from WAEC completed, I think a lot of those of our older generation were also having similar things, where you can use your 3 degree with HNC to go for a degree program. Even Dilo Manaye was also having similar problem until it was clear, and Dino Malaye was also alleged to have not have gotten a degree from Amado Bello University, and they also at the end of the day clarified it. So I believe this is also the same case I am seeing with that of Obaseki. Yes, a lot of dispensation was granted to them then, you know. So I don't think that is a case. The only case I believe is here is that actually is our governor graduated from the University of Ibadan. The authority has said he is a graduate of Ibadan, I think classic art or so. Are they disputing the university authority that the certificate did not come from them? That is another question. They maybe they want the court to do them all on more on. But with all this, I still take it as part of distraction to his government. He should keep on praying. If he knows that his hands is very clean about the certificate, no matter what they say, he should keep praying, and God will give him victory. Except maybe there's a little. It's rather very unfortunate that when we talk about degree or certificate, we also mention Oshiomhole, who also have a similar case that the PDP wanted to rubbish. Oshiomhole case was even worse, because at the end of the day, when the facts were coming out, the Ministry of Education got burnt under his tenure as governor. And that fire that gutted the Ministry of Education, where the certificates were kept, is not miraculous. It was handiwork of politicians. Let's keep facts clear. It's not just a miraculous fire that burnt that place. So I don't expect that Oshiomhole will dwell much on it. The people has voted. They have voted their choice. They should allow this man rule and govern Edo State, and let's see how best he can take Edo State to the next level. That is my own point of it. Bringing about certificate forgery is very unfortunate, as I said earlier, that he's now on the PDP, who initially was persecuting that issue. But one thing is also very clear: the authority from the university has also opened a statement that it is coming from them. So, what else is certificate forgery about? That is a question. Well, since the matter is before the tribunal and before the court, we do expect that in due time we'll get more clarification, while the court will give their own verdict and judgment on the matter. Oshiomhole should not press it further. I'm happy with the recent developments I'm getting to hear about Oshiomhole. That is no longer the interest and the zeal in politics. He has died down based on his utterances of recent, that even if they give him the chairmanship, he will no longer accept it. I think one thing I want to praise him for is that you should know when to back out. Edo people will only forget or forgive him if he back out and support the man he brought into politics to ensure that the dividend of democracy and development in the state is beneficial to the people. We wish Obaseki luck. At the end of the day, let's see how he proves his point. Definitely, everybody agitates to be governor. The other party wants it back. So every case, they will always bring on him. This is part of distraction. This is part of the electoral processes. Cases must go on. Issues about credentials or forgery will always come. But one thing I know, that if his hands are very clean, God will also bring him out. Evidences are coming out gradually. The university has said it's from them. So maybe the university authority will be invited to say that the statement, is it coming from them, or is it a father, or was Obaseki bribing them over the certificate matter?
Okay, Mr. Daniel, I just came back. So, what happened? You said
we looked at it and said that since the university authority has said that the degree, the certificate is coming from them, I don't know what they are challenging. Also, dwelling on Oshiomhole, that one will not expect Oshiomhole should be the one, because he himself was having a similar problem. His own was worse. When the case was gradually coming to conclusion, we had that miraculous burning of the Ministry of Education Certificate Center. So it should not be the one to sponsor such against a man who the university authority has claimed. Oshiomhole's own was even worse, because then Dan Obi's father was the headmaster of that school where Oshiomhole claimed to have gotten it. And it was even information that, yes, that was how Oshiomhole's case was worse before they burned down the Ministry of Education. Dan Obi's father was the headmaster. And from record that even Dan Obi was displaying was not from the Ministry of Education, was from, those days, headmaster keeps a copy at home.
Yeah.
That was it. That Oshiomhole was not a student of that school, was never a PPU of that school.
He was not able to provide the certificates, right?
No, he provided one that was said to be forged. And evidence is now coming from the headmaster that he was not one of their students.
In primary school, right?
Yes.
So
Oshiomhole actually did not attend secondary school. Primary school certificate. That was where they hacked on him.
He didn't attend secondary school?
No. He attended a lot of remedial courses.
Okay, yeah.
The qualification for governor is primary school living certificate. And when Dan Obi was attacking Oshiomhole at that time, the school that that year number primary school he claimed, Dan Obi's father was the headmaster. The year he claimed he attended it, Dan Obi's father was already there and said that Oshiomhole was not one of their pupils.
Okay.
And he was already parading a certificate from that primary school.
Saying
that was what happened.
The school.
Yeah, the school. Definitely, those days are headmasters.
Yeah.
They keep copies in their house.
I
can remember a long time ago, one Mr. Okunbo, I should be late now. He was that one time headmaster in a Daken primary school. A friend of mine took me to his house and he mentioned this. I said, that was my headmaster. When I mentioned my name, the moment he still recalled it, he still recalled my bow leg. And while we were discussing, he went into his private room and brought out. Do you know how long ago I misplaced my testimonial? A copy was with our headmaster that I quickly begged him to make a photocopy across.
But not all of them can, keep.
No, those days, that was how bright our headmasters are. Those then were.
Not all of them, Mr. Yeah. My father was headmaster as well. My father
okay.
was headmaster. So
that was how I was able to get another primary school testimonial of a Daken from my headmaster.
Because my child spent it in the school compound throughout. My father was the headmaster, while my mom was a teacher as well.
So that is it. And what happened to Oshiomhole at that time was the man who was PDP chairman, the father was the headmaster, and said he could not remember Oshiomhole attending that Yanamo primary school. And that was how miraculous burning of so let's not dwell on this certificate. Luckily for Obaseki, the university authority has said that the reason why they are contesting it, because look at the certificate from University of Ibadan and that of Obaseki, they thought it was forged. But the university authority came out and said that Obaseki actually graduated with a first degree from that university. Then another issue also had to go with his WAEC, that he was having 3 credits or so. How can 3 credits enter university? Some, in a similar matter, that Dino Maloyi was also having it. At that time, they do give them dispensation with your 3 credits. Not in our time. You understand? They give them dispensation. Obaseki's own was even better because Obaseki did his 3 credits with WAEC, did HNC, which was like a higher advanced degree then.
Okay,
you understand?
I think if in Nigeria, they will continue to be experiencing this problem of credentials. I think they should amend the constitution that will give them the preferences to be assessing governors, candidates, let's say governorship candidates, before they will be qualified to run. Yeah, because we cannot continue with this. This one cannot prove. You see what happened in Bayelsa, still the issue of a certificate. This thing is going on in Nigeria.
It is a lesson for younger generation. For your information, they are assessing them before they are selected as candidate for a political party. There is a team or a panel with INEC
that will assess them.
You take the certificate, even their security reports. You have to go to SSS. I remember when I wanted to contest under the councillorship then. It has its own exercise. You go for security report. You bring your certificate. Even this certificate, INEC cannot go from school to verify. This certificate are displayed on board in INEC for anyone who wants to challenge it. So the fault is that there is no verification. Maybe after the verification, the candidates are won, has won, then you see a lot of crisis coming in and say, no, he did not attend. Like that of Bayelsa. The issue was that the first degree name was partially different from the master's degree or the WAEC or something like that. You understand? You know, it was a lesson for every it is a lesson for every politician to always put your certificates and degree right. Like I can tell you, I had when I did my WAEC. Are you getting it? I did my WAEC. My name appeared Obakozuwa Osasoseme. Somebody bought, you know, those days when you are doing WAEC, somebody will buy in case you don't make the other part. It will now two sitting. Another name, somebody now added, the person who went to buy for me added Daniel to my certificate, to that form he bought. I did it. When I was planning to go for a degree program, you know, Andrews University in US, we want to send verification. They sent to INEC, to WAEC, and WAEC said the picture on both sides, on both names, are the same person. What did I have to do? I had to go to a court to swear affidavits that I am both person. That the person who bought the one of GC for me, that private GC that I did, was he added Daniel to my other name.
Yeah.
And with it, you can corroborate. Yeah. Many of them made the mistake. You change one in school set, another name will appear in another. That was what happened in the Bayelsa's case. You understand? So it is a lesson for every politician who wants to run to always make sure and put their certificate right. If you see my degree now appears all so detailed. It is digital. You understand? I was having an argument with one APC strong supporter, one Nosa Omorodion, who is a very good friend of mine. I said the system in Nigeria is what is faulty. You can't blame INEC. I want to contest. I bring all my credentials. They look at it. Security report has cleared me that I'm not a criminal. It is the other political parties that will have to bring evidence that yes, this name and this name are not the same. You know, most of the issues is that name are not corresponding. Like Obaseki, they said he doesn't have a degree. If the system was more detailed and digital, I tell you, I graduated from Andrews University 1994, 1995. I was already a graduate of Andrews University. All you have to do, you understand, just Google Andrews University, Michigan, USA. Then you look for graduates. Just type in my first name. Before you finish typing my first name, the other names will appear, the year I graduated, and the degree I had. But it is not the case in Nigeria. It is not. So that is why you cannot compare the West, you understand, with Nigeria. Before you do it, you don't need to leave your desk. You don't need to leave your desk. It's just for you to Google it. Andrews University, Michigan, USA. You understand? You just graduates of Andrews University. He just give you a column where you put a name. You put in that name.
They can as well do that in Nigeria. They have long time, you know, before they prior to
that is what we are saying. That is what we are saying, that the system itself is faulty.
No,
if the system.
What I'm trying to say is different a little bit. What I'm saying here is that prior to the election, maybe a year before the election, they should start the assessment. That is why in the West, where that is why Western countries are very, very organized. Okay, a year prior to the election, assessment should commence. Okay, that they will have to screen eligible candidates. All of them, screen them, look at their documents, their school certificates, and everything to be assured that these people are the eligible candidates to run before you can even win an election. So in this case, in Nigeria, anybody can just bump in and bring a forged certificate and register for governorship election. Then after winning the election, the opposition will come and say, oh, you don't have certificates, I'm taking you to court. At the end of the day, the governor, a city governor, will end up being disqualified. So for me, it just makes Nigeria a kind of a lawless country.
It's because the system is faulty. No one is saying that Obaseki does not have a certificate. Anyone who says Obaseki is not having a certificate is not is being political in statement. He presented a certificate. They are saying that certificate is forged.
And they would have said that so that
listen, madam, that's what I'm saying, that they would have he presented a certificate as a graduate of University of Ibadan. I think classic art or so.
Classic.
You understand? Yes. He presented the certificate. They are saying that the certificate is forged. Those who are claiming that also brought other people's certificate from that same University of Ibadan that are looking at that of Obaseki. One of the major issues was that I think the vice chancellor did not sign that of Obaseki. Let me give you, that is what I am saying, that when I know what I'm saying when I say the system is faulty. Are you getting it? The certificate, they said Obaseki, I've not seen it apart from online, that he is displaying was not signed either by the vice chancellor. Why other university, other certificate from that same year is being signed by the vice chancellor or the registrar, so that his own was blamed or somebody else signed. It's a different signature. That is their argument. Not that he did not attend the university as claimed by him. That the certificate is indeed forged. And that was why I was saying it is a system that is faulty.
The system is not working.
That is it. Why will a university, also forget that the university has also come out to say that that certificate, that Obaseki actually graduated from University of Ibadan with classic art. They came to the press and said he's a graduate. And that was what I had an argument with Nosa Omoro about. That is because of the system. If the system was all right, if I am a graduate of University of Ibadan and Ibadan has a security digital system where I don't need to ask you, Nekpen, you graduated from University of Ibadan, it's just for me to take one of your name, and the one in their list will appear. You can try it. Andrews University is a secured one.
No,
you don't need to travel abroad. Just Google it, and the list of graduates is there. But we don't have it in Nigeria. It's the system that is faulty.
No, that's why the system.
Obaseki is not saying that he did not graduate. They said the certificate he's displaying is forged.
They said he's
forged. Forged.
Yeah.
They brought from that same year. You understand? That same year. Their claim, let me explain their claim for you. Their claim is that he should produce one of his classmates.
That anybody can be his classmate. That's why we are saying.
And the certificate, when they are displaying, they said that year of which this certificate was issued, they brought another one of that same year the certificate was issued, where the name of the vice chancellor also signed. That of Obaseki was known. That is their claim of forge. But the university has come out to say he is a graduate of the university. Forget the certificate. The problem we have is that we dwell so much on paperwork in Nigeria. That is why a lot of forgery happens. If you ask Ministry of Education, if they have a detailed list of those graduated from primary school certificate, who has primary school certificate, I doubt if they have a system or digital or a system where you can go to. So since they know the system is faulty, they can always look at someone having similar one and give it to a printer to design.
Corruption is at the root of all these things. You know what? For
In
me,
the beginning, it has always been faulty.
I would recommend.
Because if every year is being documented well enough to GDTA, you can relate with other security agents to especially GDTA it.
Yeah.
Anybody cannot tell me he graduated from a particular university, recognized university in Canada, and I want to find out I have to come to Canada. No, it will not happen. I
And
know where to go,
Nigeria,
and definitely I will get it.
the-
But in Nigeria, you don't have something like that. They dwell on that paper document.
that is why they
That
will
is the
complain
problem.
about discrepancies in his documents. Okay,
That is it.
yeah, I would recommend that they amend the constitution and the eligibility criteria to run for governorship election in Nigeria should be restructured so that they will have to assess the candidate properly. Okay, ensure that they pass through the assessment process before they will be eligible to run for governorship election, because it's just too backward for Nigeria in the 21st century that a city governor who undergone so many processes will be disqualified for the second term because of discrepancies in his documents, his academic credentials. So it just shows that Nigeria, the system is really faulty according to what you just said, and there is a lawless country. Otherwise, I see no reason why a governor, before you can run for a governorship election in Nigeria, the person will not be properly assessed. That after sitting in the office, then the problem of discrepancies in certificates will arise, and later on, a city governor will be disqualified. It's very, very backward for Nigeria.
Well, I will not join you to say Nigerian is lawless. What you are saying is the intricacies of politics. It makes it more interesting. It makes politics is very interesting.
It's
It
corruption.
means that no, it's not corruption. It makes politics interesting. It means that you who is willing or vying for a political position, you have to do things right. That of Bayelsa, no one said he did not get or acquire those qualifications. Let's get one thing clear. He did not get or acquire those qualifications. What happened in Bayelsa was that one whether the certificate in the degree program and the one he had with WAEC is completely different name. Are you getting it? He may be the same person. The question was, why did you have to change your name when you were going into the university? And that was why the law court, in their own judgment, said this may not be the same person. Don't forget that Iseyamu's governorship, deputy governorship candidate was already having that case. The case died down because they did not win. Adam, the Aluyo or something, there is also a discrepancy in his certificate as displayed in names. And even if they have won, that thing would have also fallen back on them. It is not left for you. That is what I was in Abuja when we were discussing this matter. I said, well, thank God I had my first degree from a university in US. You understand? Because I got to get a feel of it. Because when I was submitting my WAEC, Daniel was not in the GC in the WAEC. But when Andrew sent to Nigeria for verification of my WAEC, they said yes, it is from them, and the picture on both then are the same person. Because we were doing WAEC when my father gave money to somebody that in case I did not make one sitting, to go and enroll me for GC. We have private GC at that time. So the person, because of my baptismal name, the person has already added Daniel in the list. My father gave, unknown to me. The form were only given to me that they have enrolled me for GC. I should go and prepare after WAEC. So when the university secretary showed me what WAEC wrote to them, I said, okay, the best way I could do was to make affidavit that I'm the same person, that the person who bought this name added my baptismal name. And so anybody, if I'm going to politics today, anybody wants to use it to fault me, I will bring that, then wait, because now I'm bearing the three names are now appearing. It appeared in my first, it appeared in my second. It is not even appearing in all my documents, my NYSC.
Why about those of us that went to school in abroad? So they will still go check.
Are you using the three names now?
No, I'm using only the Nekma Obasobi.
You can see it's not too late. What you have to do is,
it doesn't really matter. The middle name doesn't matter. You can take it
okay.
Off
And maybe that is why we are saying politics is very interesting. That is where you have, it's now on your honors to defend your own certificate.
But with our affidavit,
recently we learned that a court also said that the Bayelsa State Deputy Governor candidate for APC, that the certificate is one person, but it is now a thing of the past because the Supreme Court has also ruled on the matter. It's not a thing of the past.
Okay.
They have used political intricacy to pull you out. That is how. So it's interesting. The only issue is a lesson for them. The funny thing is that politicians
they are using that to exercise power against.
It is the political.
Yeah.
No, apart from the opposition, the same system we are saying that is faulty. Are they not politicians who are also mounting the government? If these things are affecting you, all you have to do is to put the system right.
Right, exactly.
Don't forget that even our own president was having the same problem. He took 20 senior advocates to court. If you are not aware, be aware. Buhari was having the same problem. Buhari went to a course in US. Maybe they did not verify his certificate. He was given a mastership something in military. When the issue came up, those ones said no, they did not verify because Buhari was recommended to them, believing that his certificate was here, whereas Buhari's certificate was. And don't forget that during the time of Buhari, Emir recommended you into the army without a certificate. The thing was not jam-packed. So if you look at it, it is for them, if they were really sincere of working for this country, it is for them to put things right.
Right. Then tomorrow they will come
set up this so that the younger generation coming into politics will now have a digital data system. Like this case will no longer appear. Yes, you have it. Okay, let me check. Daken primary school, those who attended primary school certificate, yes, so, yeah, screw it down, the name will appear. Yeah, these things will, INEC will not only accept your paperwork, there is one thing, INEC's hands are very tight. When INEC send your name to DSS, we call them now, for verification, all your documents, when you are vying for political position in Nigeria, candidacy, INEC will send all your documents back to DSS. You have to go and see DSS for interrogation. The DSS was supposed to be the one to verify those documents, but they are only looking at the criminal side.
Yeah, if you have a
criminal record. And once they have verified you, they will not clear you. INEC has nothing to say. So it is now within the political parties to fight that this man he has no certificate. It is so it made politics very, very interesting.
So what do you think will be the outcome of these court cases against Governor Obaseki?
Well, I see it's going to be very tight, but I am very willing. I'm very hopeful. Let me use the word hopeful that we skate through. Why? Yes, they displayed different certificate from what was issued to Obaseki at the university same year. They also displayed NYC certificate having 40 name for Obaseki. 40 name, yes. The name Obaseki, I was not in the one giving NYC certificate given to Obaseki. I by NYC. Those were the two major forgery we saw. The university authority has said that that certificate is coming from them. They even came out with a press that he actually graduated from that university. NYSC has also reissued another certificate, discharge certificate for him. Are you getting it? Another discharge certificate, they have also reissued it to him. So with these, I see him scaling through it because these are the authority. Because so you don't expect the University of Ibadan to again lie that the certificate is not coming from them, no matter the money they will give.
Okay. Don't you think the courts?
What they are even doing now is to equate that how can you go into the university with 3 degrees, but it has happened in so many universities where dispensation was granted to many of their sets then. But his own was better.
3 degrees, 3 credits.
3 credits, yes, 3 credits. Education should be one of them. Put things right. Remove this 40 system. Is it because you are beneficial to this 40 system you want to leave it bare?
But, no.
As you speak, Nigeria relies so much on paperwork, and it is not good.
Mr. Daniel, to be honest, Nigeria, the corruption, this argument, this conflict over the certificate, they are all embedded in the corruption existing among Nigerian politicians. Okay, so when you have power in Nigeria, you can bypass this credentials problem. That is just the. So let's look at the root cause of this. Forget about this argument about certificate.
Madam, PDP brought the case against him when he won that of APC. I think the case was discarded.
So, yes. Oshiomhole said it was his fault that he didn't pay attention to his certificate at that time.
No, it was brought. I know that PDP, when Izayamu was candidate on that PDP, the issue was brought, but it was discarded somehow. But I can't really place my hand on the judgment why it was discarded. It is that was what Oshiomhole was saying, that the evidence provided by the PDP is what they are using. But a lot of people also had to go into it. You understand? Like bringing the 40 certificate and saying those who graduated in that year, this is the certificate they gave to them. This is what Obaseki was displaying. Even his NYSC, the name given to him, Obaseki, I was not in the one of the discharge certificate. These are what, and when these authorities re-clarify themselves, they are now saying how is it a realistic thing for him to have a 3 credit and was admitted into university. So whereas we had waivers for a lot of them then. They have waivers. Even up to now, the university authorities still have waivers for certain class or ages to enter into the university. Yeah. Not everybody that did JAM that are lawyers. There were a lot of police officers who were sent to go and read law, go into university on intelligence report. So these are waivers the university has.
Yes.
So it's not an issue.
Every university has a waiver. Okay, it happened to me when I was in school. So I got admission to another degree. So immediately I told the professor that, this course I just enrolled. However, I will not be able to complete this course because I got admission to another program which is higher than this particular program that I am in right now. So he said, oh, congratulations. Okay, what happened now? I said, only this course. If you can waive this course for me, I will go for the higher degree that they just gave me admission. Oh, she said, congratulations. Of course, I will do that for you. She was so proud of me. So she said, come with me to the office. She waived that course. But it was
Okay.
only 3 credits. She waived the course for me so that I will continue with my other degree that they just gave me admission. So it happened. Every university has its own system of waiving courses for students. So it's not a new thing. But in Nigeria, they can use that to target people, especially in the politics. It's very interesting.
No, it depends on the university to clarify that. You know, if they gave him waiver to run for the program without the credit, it's for university. Definitely, when the case is progressing, authorities from the university will come to defend what they have if he actually get it, and why giving the waivers and all that. So I see him. I'm still very hopeful that he will skate through this. I know
Okay.
because
Okay, we have discussed more in detail about this certificate, and it's very clear to me, Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much for the
thank you
explanation.
very much.
More in detail. Oh, but no, Lord. Okay, let's go to this Edo Oshiomhole.
So,
I saw him the other day holding a material, like a Ankara material. So some people believe that he went back to his normal profession. So
are you sure it's him or they just did it and you know this
photoshopping. Do you think
net?
photoshopping?
It
Photoshopping.
can be photo. I don't think Oshiomhole has anything to do with Texas now. It's not well. With all due respect to him, uh, one thing I have seen in him, I like people when they know the heat is down for them and they pull out. That statement that he made, that even if given the chairmanship position of APC now, he will no longer accept it. That is done and is done for good. You
That's
know,
what he
I
said.
respect. Yes, I respect him for that.
He said
You
he's
know,
not going to take the
with
position.
no, say if given the position now, he will no longer accept it. That
Oh.
is, he's done with it.
It's very
So
interesting, though. It's very interesting in the Nigerian politics.
and that is where I believe he's gradually pulling out of politics. Whether he has given it the towel, that is what I cannot say. But his statement of recent shows he's done with whatever politicking that he has been doing. But I will give it to him because I like a man when it is time to say go, you let go. He did his best for APC. Let's be very frank in terms of politics.
You
But
know,
the man he brought, having impressed the people, you know, the people stood by him. That is Obaseki. So
one,
even recently, the last comment was when Shuaibu Philip did his birthday. He sent a congratulatory message to him. You know, it means that he's still amending. I believe all this can be amended. Politics is not what we see inside,
but
outside.
I also
Inside
heard,
is different from outside.
I also heard that he's planning to decamp to PDP. You know, there
No,
are
no, no.
many,
I don't think
many
so.
rumors out there flying
I don't
over.
think so.
You know,
Even
people
his
from
statement,
there
yes, yeah, it's still very possible. Even the statement is even, you know, if you put one or two together, when he now says that even if given the position of the chairman of APC, will no longer accept it, he's done for with it. Someone can put one or two together and say, yes, this man is already leaving the party for PDP. You know, after all, he started Labour. From Labour, he joined the AC, now APC. So, you know, anything can happen in Nigeria as regard that. So, we are still, but that statement he made that even given the position, he will not accept. He won my respect because
But
he
they will
gets
not
a
even give him.
position.
I don't think they will give him.
Well, but the information was that some of his loyalists
Yeah.
they sued the INEC, they sued the APC Crescent caretaker.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, they sued the hand. So those are hints. Maybe with those statements, these loyalists or supporters will back out of it. But you can see that. Are you aware that APC dissolved all their state executive?
No.
APC had dissolved all state and national executive and appointed a caretaker. Colonel Musi, is it Musi they call him? the one that was fashioner is now authentic a chairman caretaker for Edo State. Oh, you are not aware?
Why by Aslemo Joshua?
They have dissolved as all state executive of APC.
Oh,
So Amusu,
yeah,
the former
it?
fashioner chairman, is now the authentic chairman caretaker of APC. They appointed caretaker committees. They now appointed that Konemusi as
that Konemusi was the chairman of
the fashioner chairman, yes,
at that time under the EPM.
Yes, EPM.
So it's not the caretaker committee
chairman for Edo State. You can see how interesting politics is. So that is it. So Aslem Joshua, since the dissolution, ceased to be the chairman.
Are you serious?
Okay.
No. What is he doing now?
Well, that is a question you have to ask him when you invite him. Politics is go, come, and go, come, and go. So
I will try to see. I will invite him. I will invite him. You know, I interviewed him once before on Nebo TV through telephone. So I will try to call him to see what is going on. Really? I always me go with Governor Obaseki. I saw him when was inaugurated as SSG.
And you can see that was even the reason why a lot of people were even projecting that he might likely come to PDP. Maybe this will now further prove the point that he may likely come to PDP or may even be given political position under Obaseki.
Exactly.
Because that is a
February
friendship called across parties. You know, and that is one thing I love the APC and the PDP for.
You know that the governor dissolved his cabinet to be re-elected in February. So
yes, I'm aware.
Yes, let's see. Maybe he's going to give us.
I'm very hopeful he's going to give him a political appointment because now that he has no job. Yes, all state executive were dissolved.
And it's going to give him a very meaningful position. That's what.
Let's hope so. And maybe on the note of that, he may now finally come to PDP. Nobody knows. Let's keep our hope so.
I will call him though to see what is going on right now. Wow, I never knew. That the APC.
That's the position.
I saw one saying that the APC is dissolving the party in Nigeria.
Well, what happened was after their neck meeting, they dissolved all state executive. So, and PDP wanted to sue them that for doing that, they are no longer political parties. That INEC should conduct. That was a political statement. But at the end of the day, they had to constitute a caretaker committees for them. So in every state, they now have a caretaker committee to run. I don't know how many years they are going to run, or in weeks or months. But Konemusi, the former fashioner chairman, as alleged, then, it was called fashioner chairman of APC. It's now the authentic caretaker committee chairman for Edo State.
Oh, Lord have mercy. APC is not making sense in Nigeria anymore. It's not making sense. This next general election, I don't think APC will be allowed to.
Let's hope so. We just hope and believe, because I do not have confidence in Yakubu-led INEC. If you ask me, that Yakubu INEC, Yakubu himself may be a secret carrying card member of a political party. I don't want to mention, because if you really want to prove an election, it is by being credible. The only election that have been credible so far is that of Obaseki election that have been held. You understand? They did advanced one in Ondo State, so the only credible election so far conducted by INEC is Edo State election. So that is where I'm doubting. If you allow the wish of the people, APC, in fact, instead of fixing the country, they are now started discussing presidential. That is how I don't really know what
it's desperation for power. It's just the desperation
It's
for
so
power.
bad.
They don't
Country is
care.
down there, and
They don't
yet you
care
are
about
talking of president.
they don't care about
No,
the development of Nigeria.
even the Kogi State governor is willing and wanting to come as presidential candidate. In fact, we just continue to pray for this country. That
Who
is
is
the
the
best I
Kogi?
can say.
General Melaye.
No, Kogi State governor.
I saw one picture the other day, a flyer saying that Melaye will be running for the president.
No. Is the Kogi State governor way? Is that one is even making his own very loud and clear. What
Really?
is his name again? Yes, that he wants to run for presidency. And you can see what we have been saying about certain side. We always want to get it. If at the end of the day the North is also giving again the presidents, I just pray for this country whether this country will
Jonathan.
continue to remain.
We saw another rumor that Jonathan is planning to run.
Well, good Lord Jonathan is a very intelligent man. He was definitely he said to that he's not ruling it out, though he has not made up his mind. The other time, the state governors from under APC visited him, and it was also alleged that they were pressurizing him to contest under APC. We have also heard that some PDP top shop is saying this is an opportunity for him, since a lot of people are talking about his administration, giving him kudos over Buhari, that he should use it to sell himself again back to power. Yeah. So I know when he was asked, and he said he's not ruling it out. So let's see how it goes.
I think it will not.
Whatever party, I tell you that whatever party, if he decides to run, whatever party, if the election is free and fair, that man will win overwhelmingly, if not 95%. Because Nigeria had not known that he came to redeem Nigeria, but we never knew.
Okay, do you mean
June? Yes.
Yeah, he will win. He will win. Yeah.
No matter the party he's chosen, what will happen in the next presidential election will determine. It's going to be personality stake. So a party who is able to get a very viable personality, and election is free and fair, it will be declared.
I think he is.
Even the Northerners are even yearning for good Lord Jonathan, because last time he was, the effort of development he made for the North is still far-fetched in their mind.
Yeah. I think even the North will support good Lord Jonathan, because the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari it sucks. I've never seen anything like this. A president who is not active, who cannot even comprehend reality, who's not conscious of the crisis going on in the country. Is that a president? So I even the other day I saw an article about the governor of Kaduna, Nasuru El-Rufai, saying that it is time for the Southern leaders to rally around and produce a president in this upcoming election. So I think the Northerners as well will support this. They will support a president coming from the Southern region, because President Buhari is still no. We can't just wait for 2023 so that it will
to come. Everybody's yearning and waiting for it to come.
We can't wait for 2023, honestly.
If Jonathan is chosen by any political party, don't forget that the Southeast are also yearning and making threat a promise that if they are not giving, they may be pulling out of this country. But they have always been. The problem I have with the Southeast, I think we have discussed it briefly before. The Southeast cannot come together as one to produce a consensus candidate for themselves. Everybody feels that they have the money and they can sell themselves, and that is what has been doing them in that part of our region. It is so sad that they cannot produce a single candidate to fight for. Well, if good Lord Jonathan is brought, he can both represent the South and Southeast, and I see him getting the support for the Southeast as well. But let's see how it goes, whether he will contest or whether the North, because from all feelings, they have been pressurizing him to come back.
I think he is the best candidate right now in Nigeria. He's the best.
Don't forget Atiku is also coming out.
Atiku,
Atiku
no,
Abubakar.
no, but unfortunately, Atiku will go to lead
Yes,
that
the reason
administration.
the reason I will not even support Atiku's candidacy is that the North, let's give it to South. They
Yes.
can be South. Even in the South, the people, let Southwest also go and rest a while. Southwest have taken it for 8 years. So let the other southern regions take it,
Yeah.
be the one vying for it.
I think
Why if Jonathan comments that South has not completed their compulsory 8 years. You understand? It was truncated through Buhari. So Jonathan can come in, is still qualified. The other Southeast, let it come from Southeast, South, and Southwest should go at least relax a while because they have produced their the president for this country for, and that is why I'm not in support of Tinubu's candidacy at all.
Tinubu is the worst person. I don't want to even hear his name. Tinubu, Tinubu. No. Tinubu, one thing that Tinubu did lately, that for me, I would never support Tinubu for his quest to run for the seat of president in 2023. So when during the Lekki shooting, when the youth were killed at Lekki Tollgate, he didn't show any sign of empathy to the youth that were killed. You said you are the Jagaban of Lagos. They sent military to come and kill your own people. You didn't say anything, didn't resist, investigate the case. Who exactly sent this military to open fire on your people in Lagos, killing innocent youths? Jagaban of Lagos, and go nowhere, fake news everywhere. A real Jagaban will never be quiet, allowing people to kill your own people. You understand? That is the real Jagaban that I will respect, that will defend his people. So for him not reacting, coupled with his past record of godfatherism in Nigeria, Tinubu is the least person for presidency.
Well, we can continue to pray that now we have known how leadership is very important in this country, that God should direct us this time around to produce a viable leader for us as a country. That's my prayer, so that we'll lead the country aright, so that we cannot be talking of disunity or disharmony.
That Jonathan is extremely good. Jonathan is a little bit too weak.
No. I won't. Though I am Jonathan is a man to me, reading him from every point of view, who understands. He understands. Yes, he wanted. If you are too tough, you can't rule Nigeria.
Okay.
People like mind with Jonathan. Jonathan was doing all he did for the North, trying to, not knowing that he was even stepping his band for them, like that Amajari. Who told you to need Amajari? So that those poor people will come to get education and be challenging them tomorrow. He would have re-studied the North on the kind of thing. Jonathan did not fail as such. He wanted a normal life, an equal life for the northern youth and the southern youth, which many of those so-called leaders of the North never wanted. A man of Jonathan is what we need. If you are too hard, you will not go you will go nowhere. Don't forget what happened to Rosin.
I understand.
You understand? A man that can rule Nigeria will be able to look at every region and please all of them.
Not that one is different. The inclusive, that's what you are saying. You are talking about inclusiveness. That is different from being firm. We want a president that will be firm. Nigerians are complex people. They are very complex. So we need someone, a leader that is a little bit firm to manage the country. I'm telling you. Jonathan is not that he's
the problem we can get for us to get that leader that will be very firm depends on a leader who is so rich, that none of these political actors are contributing to his. That is where, when you talk of fairness, will come. You understand? Politics in Nigeria is give and take. If they support you financially,
Yeah.
the essence, the essence why you see godfatherism is being challenged and they are rising every day. You don't expect them to spend the whole of their money to see you in. I am happy that Nigerians are becoming, from Edo State election, are becoming educated about what politics is about. They can key for it. There are many chairmen who cannot even deliver because of one godfather who has spent a hell of money for them. So we keep praying. The only thing is prayer. Being firm is different from being inclusive.
Yes.
We don't need a firm. Yes, when you are firm, the only firmness I will always take. Yes, you supported me. I need at least 3 persons from you. I will want to appoint as minister. I will take one. On your own, invite them, talk to them one-on-one. I don't say you should not be loyal to your leader. Let me see the input you can have. That does not show that you cannot support your leader. Let me see the input you will have in my administration. Then you pick one of them. If you are able to do it.
Mr. Daniel, you know the type of you know the type of leader.
Fairness.
Type of leader I would propose for Nigeria, a leader who is enough to regulate crime.
Okay.
Regulate crime, that's what I'm talking about. To be tough with the issue of corruption, regulating crime, you understand? Deal with Boko Haram. We'll be able to deal with the corruption among politicians. The time of Jonathan, we saw high rates of corruption, money laundering in the system. I did analysis of the 23 politicians that AFCC accused of money laundering in Nigeria. It's terrible. You don't want to watch that show. You see how much politicians embezzled at that time. This woman, Dazani Madweke, that woman, she was just playing with Nigerians and money. She was just making fun with it.
I'm fully aware of what you are saying. Let me tell you, has the corruption reduced? Just 2 days ago, NNPC brought a budget before the Senate, buying of pencil and biro running into billions of naira. And even the NNPC, pencil and biro for themselves. For themselves.
How much? How much?
Of what? Billions of naira, if I'm not mistaken.
How many of them are the NNPC?
And that was what the Senate was asking them. Biro and pencil. So the issue is this. If you talk about Jonathan, when he realized it, he wanted to work on it, but Nigerians were no longer listening when he said corruption is different from stealing. Majority of these cases you are seeing with EFCC was championed by good Lord Jonathan before he left office, and they are still suffering it. You understand? I am not giving it to him because a lot of he was rather too flexible for them to run over millions and billions stealing from his administration, stealing left and right. Now, in Buhari, Buba Galadima said, in Buhari, they said Jonathan was weak. But in Buhari, it is now incorporated, stealing from left, right, everywhere. Corruption can be reduced when we have more of honest people in leaders. And that was why I was telling you that, well, godfathers will always come. But your ability to stand, okay, yes, you supported me, bring 3. Discuss with them one-on-one. I want to run a government at least. If you don't eradicate it, but you minimize it for the interest of the people. As I see, the kind of politics we play in Nigeria, no government will be able, no individual will be able to completely eradicate corruption, except the military who are honest. Unfortunately, most of our military officers have become so even more corrupt than our politicians. Rawlings, we were saying about, he cleaned Ghana when he was a military leader. He cleaned it, not when he became a president of Ghana. It was when he was a military head of state. So if a leader must be able to understand this kind of people he's operating with, the system he's operating with, so as not to offend. There's one thing that you must know. When you offend one of them, it is easy for them to gather over the night to destroy your administration.
Yeah, that's what Adam Oshiomhole did. So.
That is what they do. Overnight, they discuss your matter, and before you know, flyers start coming, discrediting you left and right.
Yeah.
So apart from praying for that credible leader, we pray for a leader who will understand Nigerian better, so that the system will flow.
I'm tired of discussing about Nigeria. Honestly, like this, it's like there's no hope that country is going to develop, because we need development in Nigeria,
and that is our prayer.
Democracy.
That's our prayer.
Democracy in Nigeria. Look, recently, the president of Guinea won his third term. Third term in 21st century. These people, they are just running forever. There are many leaders in Africa right now who have been in office for more than 40 years. They are still there. I'm tired of all these people. He just won his third term, and it's very easy for them. You know what they do? Yeah? They just amend the constitution to allow them to run for
them to run. That's it.
Very easy.
And that is why you see Nigerian is even born better than most of them. You can't just say. Don't forget that former President Obaseki was alleged doing it, but the kind of opposition he got that even made him and Atiku enemies today. You know, he didn't believe his eye. He could not amend it. So Nigerian is even better than those African countries. My sister, I think we have to call it now, because my battery is running out.
Yes.
It's giving me warning of my battery.
Thank you, Mr.
So maybe tomorrow or next we'll discuss and see the latest development.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching right now, you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll come back next time. However, we're not going to be doing our daily political analysis anymore, because I have an ongoing project. I'm so busy. But we'll come back, at least before Christmas, we'll come back one more time and discuss it at Edo State. Thank you all. I wish you all happy Christmas and New Year in advance. We're going to be doing our Christmas giveaway maybe next week.
Okay. I hope I will be included.
You should be part of it. You should be part of it.